Greetings! Welcome to Film Gazers, a podcast focusing on the science fiction, horror, fantasy trinity, and 20th century entertainment. I'm Steph.
I'm Jess. We're cousins / besties. Join us as we reminisce, discuss, and review films from our childhood.
Meowdy.
Meowdy.
So, what you been watching? What you been up to?
What have I been doing? I don't know if I said this last time, but I have been watching The Following.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about it.
Yeah.
So the third season got very dark.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is there 3
Are they on the compound where they make their little compound
That
thing?
was the second season.
Okay, so I guess I have seen the second season then. So I don't know if I saw the third.
The third season, so the second season, he dies.
Kevin Bacon?
No, Joe Carroll.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I was like...
Not the main star.
Okay.
And then it was kind of heartbreaking when Joe Carroll died. Like, I was kind of sad. I was
You're like, I'm a member.
I was like, I really thought that he would make it. I thought Kevin, because they came together at the end to where they were like friends. Like Kevin Bacon accepted, and then he came to watch him die. And then they locked eyes, and Joe Carroll saw that he was there, and he was like, I can go now.
I do not remember.
I was like, oh my God, I really thought that he'd save him. But he didn't. They gave him lethal injection, and he died. So the third season starts off, and like now he's like starting to see Joe Carroll everywhere.
Oh, he's going like crazy.
Like he's starting to snap. So it got real dark, but I'm only 2 episodes away from the finale, and I don't know why I do this, but I'm like, well, I don't want to finish it just yet, so I'm gonna watch something else. Because I want to put my attention on it, and I don't feel like doing that right now.
Yeah.
So then in the meantime, when I'm not watching that, I've been watching Glow Up again, the makeup show.
Oh, okay.
The makeup reality competition show.
Nice.
And that's a good like background show watch. And then also, me and you went with we had a nice little Galentine's event.
Yes, we did. It was so much fun. We saw the Dominate tour movie for the K-pop band Stray Kids.
Yes, the concert movie.
Yes, and it was very good. We had a wonderful experience.
Mm-hmm.
We all went out to eat beforehand, and at this like Italian restaurant, and had some like pizza and little snackies, and then went to the movies. I hate that theater. I just always want to talk shit about that place. But I have to say though, it was so dead that night that it was very enjoyable because everything was still really like clean, and like the soda machine was working finally. Like I feel like every time I've gone there, it never works.
Like the whole little area was nice because there was nobody there, but it was still all lit up.
Yes.
Like it was lit up just for us.
I know. It felt, it was, I love it when things are not crowded.
I do too. It makes me feel like it's just me here.
Yeah. Because there was only like one other group of people in the theater with us. Because there was like, 5 of us girls went together. And then, it looked like it might have been like some grandpas with their like family.
Yeah.
It was like 2 like quite older men. And it looked like 2 kind of, younger girls maybe. So, and they were all the way in the back though. So it was so nice. But yeah, it was a great time. And then Jess, you like know of K-pop. You've listened to some of it, but it hasn't been like your go-to. And now you're apparently a stay.
I am obsessed. It was one thing to like, I think you played me a song or 2, like the Jam song. I know for sure I've heard before I saw the movie. But to see them perform in person and to hear Felix's voice.
Coming out of that elf-like.
Yes, that elf-like face. I was like, immediately, all right. And then, I'm going to fuck up his name now. Hunshin. Yep, he's also my favorite.
Yeah, it was, I like, Changbin.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that I like. I never was a boy band girl.
I wasn't either, but they didn't rap back then either.
Or if they did, it was really lame.
It was really bad. It was really bad white boy rapping.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Unless it was like Boys to Men. Like, I love Boys to Men.
Yeah, that's true. I still never got to that level though of where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have posters of them or this or that. But with like K-pop, they make it fun like they want you to do, like it's the whole idol industry. It's very funny. I love the fact that they had the little like plushie type things that all represent them. Like
yes, that was my favorite part.
I'm such a big plushie fan that I was like, oh, that's adorable. I love that.
And I'm going to get the plushies now.
Oh yeah. I'm gotta get the proper plushies. We'll have to get all the girls who went.
Yes.
We'll have to
that'll be
that'd
a really
be a
good
fun
present.
gift.
That's cute.
So yeah, we had a blast. We lived our little K-pop dreams.
You feel like a 13-year-old girl all over again.
It was. Yeah, and they do put on a show. Like it is a whole production.
It's impressive.
Yeah. It was very cool.
And I've been listening to nothing but Stray Kids ever since. I kind of got into like a music rut where I'm like, I feel like I've listened to everything and nothing is enjoyable to me anymore.
I think you even talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, because that's why I've been listening to audiobooks lately.
So everyone, it's official. She's back to listening to music.
Because of the Stray Kids.
It's because of Stray Kids. Bum, 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 bum.
I was like, my favorite song right now is Maniac.
Nice. I also listened to, they have the actual
set
tour
list.
Set list.
I listened to that as well.
Yeah, I had that on repeat on like the following Monday when I went back to work or whatever. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have been watching a lot of like shows too. I've only watched a few movies. We watched that Escape Room that came out a while ago.
With Jodie Foster?
No. That's like Panic Room, I think. No, this is like almost like a Squid Game where people are put into deadly escape rooms and they have to figure out the puzzles. It's very much like that other horror movie that came out like last year or this year called Tarot. Like very one of those run of the mill, like they're, who's gonna die? Let's what, it was fine. I would give it like a 2-star. Andrew enjoyed it a little more than I did, so he would give it like a 2.5. I think he was like, no, it was a solid, like fun, stupid horror watch. It was okay.
Yeah, you're like, that's your opinion.
For Valentine's Day, we watched 40 Days and 40 Nights with Josh Hartnett and Shannon Sosamon.
I never liked that one.
Well, Andrew was a big Shannon Sosamon. Like, that was his girl crush. And then I liked Josh Hartnett. Yeah. And so we were like, oh, that'll be funny because we hadn't watched it in forever. And I believe Andrew always remembered it being very goofy is what his memories of it were. And then I was like, oh, I just don't remember much of it at all, to be honest. And so we watch it, and it is very goofy in some parts where you're like, oh my gosh, like just really goofy, weird humor. And then other parts are very much like the early 2000s, the very like kind of just crass, like, where it doesn't quite hold up well. And it's all pretty sexist in certain parts or like, but the worst part is like he full on gets sexually assaulted in the end.
By her?
By another girl. His ex-girlfriend, and like, because the whole buildup of like it was choosing to be celibate, which they act like is the weirdest fucking thing in the world you can do. Like, he's just choosing to not have sex for a while for Lent, yeah, and they're like, this is madness.
You're like 40 days without sex.
I mean, just
40 days.
Well, and also because, like I said, he obviously has an issue, like. He's just been on like a spree and he's not wanting to do that. Like, it's perfectly healthy to do what he's wanting to do.
Take a break.
Like, to just take a break and
tolerance break.
Yeah. And then even just like he's wanting to do things for himself or this or that. And then he actually meets a nice person, and he's getting to know someone on a personal level. So the overall storyline, like for like a rom-com isn't like bad necessarily. It's just how they end up playing some of it out and the responses of everyone else, like, and then him totally just being taken advantage of at one point, like,
because he was drunk or what happens?
No, he's basically like he gets his roommate to handcuff him to his bed so he won't go and like, because he wants to make it to the deadline and he's been like real tempted and stuff, and him and the girl are gonna meet at midnight, so he's like, save me from myself from like wanting to just go ahead, I think, and like meet up with her and everything. And then his ex-girlfriend comes and then sees him like locked to the bed, and he was like half asleep or whatever because they were meeting at midnight. So he would just been like fell asleep on his bed or whatever. And then she just fucks him against his will, like, basically.
Oh, damn.
Because he like doesn't realize it's, at first he thinks, oh, it's been midnight and she showed up or whatever, and they're doing the deed.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're not her. Like, it was awful. And then the girl almost like is like mad and he's trying to tell her what happened. And then it's like almost like she's mad that he got assaulted. Like, it's a weird ending. Like, I don't know. Andrew he was like, I don't remember all this.
I don't remember that part.
Like, I don't remember that at all. So, that one's gonna probably not get watched again. Weird way to end Valentine's night as well.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
You're like, this is weird. Yeah, so like we've only watched like 2 other movies besides what I watched for today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
But we did finish all the Equalizer movies because I had never seen those. Which
I've
is
only seen like the first one.
crazy because I was a huge Denzel Washington fan when I was like in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aunt Daisy and I watched every Denzel movie around that time. Bone Collector, big fan. But I had never seen these. So Andrew was like, oh no, we'll watch them. So we'd watched them some in January and then some in this past month. And then we finished. 3 was very boring, like in comparison to the first 2. Because it's like supposed to be him kind of, he's finding himself and whatever. I don't know. It wasn't as action packed.
It was his Eat, Pray, Love.
In Italy. It was in Italy, yeah.
So there we go.
A little bit. It was his Under the Tuscan Sun. But apparently, I have been in the dark for like, I think almost 3 years. I think there's 3 seasons out, maybe even more, of the Equalizer television show. And it's starring Queen fucking Latifah.
Oh, maybe I did hear about that at one point.
I started watching it.
What's it on?
What, Paramount? Yes, I believe it's on Paramount.
That
Yeah. And I did not know this existed. And then we find it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Queen Latifah. I have to watch it. And I love The Equalizer after watching the, other
How
things.
is it?
And it is so cheesy, and I love everything about it. Like, it's set up to where, they call her McCall, like, so she's just supposed to be kind of Denzel's character, essentially, just in a, different way. But she has a daughter, and I think she lives with her sister, so the sister kind of helps, like, take care of her daughter. They think she works in, like, charity work, but, like, maybe, like, a bigwig type in charity, because she's always, like, because I'm like, you're CIA. You're like doing and going crazy shit. I think it's odd they chose that to be her cover is all. Because I'm like, there's no emergency charity things.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
Like, I don't know. At least they don't elaborate much, but it just seems like a little like unbelievable. But anyway, so she's like former CIA and she's supposed to, like I said, essentially been Denzel's character.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like a badass. And then, she happens to have, these other people she's connected to that she kind of knows. And they kind of form her ragtag team of like, it's like Criminal Minds and like CSI a little bit because her... this couple,
totally
she knows the one girl that she knew, they worked like in the field together. So she's like a crack shot and, and then the girl's husband is like a hacker guy. So he's the computer guy. And it's the guy who was like the crazy roommate from Friends with Chandler in the early seasons when like Joey moves out and he has the crazy guy named Eddie or something.
Face,
and he's always like, he kind of looked like a Scuff Ross, like... Like, they look like they could have been made from the same mold, kind of, But yeah, so it's him, and it's really funny. And then there's this real cop that has been kind of like, their paths have been crossing, and then he's like figuring out who she is. But like, now they're on her trail because she's been kind of interfering because she basically puts her feelers out there that like, if you need help, I'm someone who can help, like if someone's kidnapped or, it's like, so every episode is like a new little case. And then the cops hot on her trail and then they were kind of helping each other and now they're not. And now he's like, I'm going to work with a DA to get you down. I am loving it.
That sounds like I watched one. It was called Tracker.
I think I've heard of that one.
It was very cheese too, but I watched it anyway.
Yeah, sort of this one. It's fixing that like itch I needed for the kind of
It's just comforting.
Cabled, crime drama show. We also just ended season 5 of The Expanse, and it blew my mind. It was like a death I wasn't expecting, and I think we only have one more season left. So I'm like, I am gonna be like, we're gonna take a little break, so that way I can enjoy the last season.
Yes,
because I don't want it to be over. We've also done our little blast from the past for like late night watches randomly. It's switching between Sabrina the Teenage Witch with Melissa Joan Hart. Mm-hmm. I love that one. Rewatching it makes me just remember how much I loved that show, as a kid. And I remember watching it after school when I was doing my homework a lot. It's so cheesy and stupid, but for some reason I can just pop it on and
Right, you're
watch
there.
the whole,
Right back there.
right back there. We also started watching the OC again, which was one of Andrew's favorites, actually. And gets crazy, too. Like, someone's already been shot. Like, it's the OC.
He's like, I love the drama.
Yes, he does. So we'll watch that sometimes before bed. So it's been fun. Yeah, nothing too much. I've just had a lot of crazy stuff at work happen where we had some water damage and all that stuff. So it's just been getting back to the grind and kind of autopilot. Yeah. So to where, I've just been watching really easy whatever stuff in some free time.
My free time, I've been trying to do a little like more deep cleaning.
Oh yeah.
So I got like
just be more productive in your free time. Yeah.
Because I can't do like both. Like if I'm working on like doing this kind of stuff, you know, then I don't do my cleaning.
Yes. Exactly.
It takes me so long
to get into the
do anything.
And I'm like, I think that's called ADHD.
Yes.
So we are ending February. For the theme of March itself, we are going to have March Madness. And that is going to include The Cable Guy and The Lighthouse.
Yes.
Both movies about people going a little crazy, a little mad.
Yeah, going a little mad.
So in this episode, we watched 1998's City of Angels. We're capping out the tragic romance. It was directed by Brad Sibberling. The screenplay was by Dana Stevens. It was based on Wings of Desire by Wim Wenders, Peter Hunt, and Richard Rettinger. It was produced by Charles Roven and Don Steele. It was starring Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan, Dennis Franz, and Andre Braugher. Cinematography was John Seal. Edited by Lindsay Klingman. Music was by Gabriel Yaird. The release date was April 10th, 1998. So it was like a odd spring release. I feel like you don't see very many movies released in April.
Yeah, not if you want it to make any money.
The running time was 114 minutes. The budget was $55 million, and the box office was 198.7. So not too bad.
Because of that soundtrack.
Yep. So as mentioned, it is a loose remake of Wim Wenders' 1987 film Wings of Desire, known in German as Der Himmel über Berlin. I said that like Swedish accent, I think. So Don Steele saw it and had wanted to have it adapted and made the love story as like the sole kind of focus. So when you see the dedication says for Dawn, it was because sadly she passed away from a brain tumor on December 20th, 1997, 4 months before the film's release.
That's sad.
Yeah, I was like, that's terrible. So there wasn't a ton of articles, like there were reviews, a lot of reviews I found for this film, but not like a ton of the making of. There were some videos though. I did watch one interview that Nicolas Cage did with some, I had never heard of this woman. Maybe she might have been, during the 90s, a lot of, newspapers had their own entertainment columns and things like that. So it was this older woman where she almost sounded like she had like, I feel like she'd be like an older church lady or something. Like it was very odd that she was interviewing Nicolas Cage. Her name was Bobby Wygant. And I found it was her archives. So, and it was the interview itself too. It was like from both the different angles. So it wasn't even like an edited cut, so it was like the raw film from one camera and the other. It was interesting. Nice. But she interviewed him and he talked about it being a more reserved role for him, than he normally is. Cause he basically admits that he's kind of a crazy person. Yeah. He was so reserved in this interview too. Like I felt like he matched this like woman's energy, like he was being very polite and he was so young. Yeah. And it was fun to watch. Because in the movie it was very obvious. Like he talked about basically like smizing a lot. Where he's like, I'm acting with my eyes a lot. He even practiced not blinking. Because like angels wouldn't blink is basically like the way they're looking at it. So when he's doing all that stuff, he's not blinking. And he got really good to where he could go for like long bouts of time. Like I'm really good at not blinking too.
It can't be good for your eyeballs though.
I don't know. I feel like it's just because I wear contacts.
I mean, I do
So
too.
I feel like it just holds the moisture on your eye a little
Yeah,
longer,
that's-
and then I don't have to blink as much as
as everybody else.
I'm great at staring contests. He also mentioned in that interview, him and I call him, in all my notes, I refer to Dennis Franz as NYPD Blue.
Yep.
It sounds like him and NYPD Blue. They really filmed sitting on a girder 38 stories high.
Oh, shit.
That was not any kind of trick photography. That was them sitting that high. And he said they were cabled, like you would be, like they were, safety features. But he said it was terrifying and having to act like, while doing that. Like, he was like, oh, it was like definitely an experience. And they both are like, they don't have like necessarily a fear of heights, but he's like, I have a natural fear of heights. Like, like I'm not
that high up.
Yeah, but he's like, this is like, something totally different. But and he even mentioned, so I was like, yeah, some people think, oh, we're just in front of a blue screen or something. Mm-hmm. He was like, no, we're doing that. Like, the director wanted that shot and everything.
How'd they get the camera up there?
I guess it was, I think, like a crane. Yeah, okay. Like, I think there was a whole setup. Yeah. So it was, took a little while, but they did it.
It was a beautiful shot.
Yeah. I also looked up to see basically what were differences or what they got from Wings of Desire, because I haven't seen that one. I've heard of it.
It was a movie too?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said it was a book.
No, it was just a German film.
Okay.
In 1987, yeah. And in that one, he falls in love with, the woman's not a doctor or anything. I think it's just like a regular, like it's supposed to be very much during Berlin and living with the wall. Like, it has like, it's kind of more of that. So really it's like the areas that they take place are supposed to be kind of integral to the story a little bit. So it said in that case, it's the Berlin Wall and everything. And this, it's Los Angeles, just the city itself. So they kind of did parallels with that. When Seth falls to Earth, his memories appear in black and white. And that's because in Wings of Desire, the angels were unable to see in colors. And I believe they even have it in filmed, like the angels are black and white while everything else is like in color. So I guess that was how the first was filmed. It was very much more artistic from my understanding. So that's what they were nodding, which makes sense because I will say when it's towards the end, he's like, it's red. Like, because the guy's like, yeah, you got blood. It's red. And he was like, and I was like, why wouldn't he know what colors are?
Right.
Like,
yeah, oh. I was wondering, I didn't get that was supposed to be his memories. I just thought that was like, oh, these are things that are happening around the world.
They made it a little confusing.
Yeah.
And so, but if you see the source material, you're like, oh, okay, like it kind of makes more sense, at least from that perspective. So when Seth becomes human, it shows how he can only understand English when he walks by that one Asian lady and she's speaking and he realizes he can't understand her. Mm-hmm. So in Wings of Desire, the main character is actually named Daniel, and he can still speak any language. So he's still like talking to people fine, I guess. Mr. Messenger in the hospital, when he's like, I can't see you, but I know you're there. That is the same line that Peter Falk says in Wings of Desire. So again, they reference it a lot with that certain things. A lot, I think, with the library, I believe that was still something that was a running theme as well. So it did make me want to watch the original. Yeah, too. And then the next is the soundtrack. I feel like we had to talk about the soundtrack for this movie. Course. So Send His Angels is performed by U2, and that can be heard in the background. They played Stay Far Away So Close, which was, I guess, the sequel of Wings of Desire. I guess there's some connection with that, too. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to look into that more.
I don't remember what that song
was. I saw that referenced a couple of times, so I'm going to look into it. And then executive producer Rob Cavallo, he was the head of Alanis Morissette and the Goo Goo Dolls management firm. So he was instrumental in making sure the soundtrack provided a nice setup for the forthcoming albums that they were respectively about to release. So this was like a huge marketing thing too, you know, because Dizzy of the Girl was about to be released, and then the supposed former infatuation junkie was as well. So John Resnick from Goo Goo Dolls wrote the hit song Iris. After watching the movie, they got to see the rough cut. And so the first line, I'd give up forever to touch you, was written specifically, from this film.
Hearing the song while watching the movie, it did make me like, oh.
And then Morissette penned after also watching the rough cut of the film and is quoted as saying, I was going through certain thing of my own at the time, and it just sort of coincided at the same time that I could write it about myself, and it could be something that Meg's character could be communicating throughout.
What song was hers?
The very end one, Uninvited.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I know, and it's
song.
that's where, and it was a huge hit. And this was the thing too, was it was only released on the City of Angels soundtrack. It wasn't on the album that she released later. Like it was the single for this, so it helped increase the sales of the soundtrack because everyone wanted the Alanis Morissette song because it's so good. Like everyone considers it one of her best songs, somewhat. So I just thought that was interesting because I'm like, before we go too far, even, I like the soundtrack almost better than the movie. So with that, Jess is going to take it away with the "You Googled Summer."
An angel, Seth, becomes captivated by a mortal woman, Maggie, and longs to experience the physical world. He must choose between his eternal life and a mortal life with her, exploring themes of love, faith, and the human experience.
So, what do you remember? When was the last time you seen it?
It's been years since I've seen it. 10 plus.
Same. I don't think I've seen it since, like, maybe when I was, like, school age.
Yeah.
Like, literally that long.
I think it's been probably, like, my 20s, like, early 20s since I've seen it. And I don't remember why, because I loved this movie. I loved the soundtrack. It was, like, the ultimate romantic, like, tragedy. And then I think that's why I didn't watch it, because I didn't like the end so much. Like, that she did that. She wasted her fucking life.
I like that you blame her.
Like, pay attention, you're on a fucking bike on a twisty, curvy road in the mountains.
I know, that's the one thing I have to say that I thought too watching it, where I was like,
why would you take chances right now? He's like, not an angel anymore. He can't protect you.
You're on a country road. Like, you can tell she's a city girl, is all I'm saying. Because I'm like, yeah, you gotta watch out for them chicken trucks and those log trucks, lady. Like, where do you think you are?
Exactly.
Like I said, I think I only watched this movie when I was more school age. I wanted to always like it more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I remember even then, I wasn't that. And then with this rewatch, I have to say that while Stigmata may have actively helped me leave the Catholic Church, City of Angels helped me actively hate God.
Like, why would he do that to him?
I have very vague recollections of him just being like, weirdly staring all the time.
Yes.
And then, like, I do remember the library, because I was a big library kid, and I thought that was the coolest part, was like, oh, they all hang out at the library. Like,
I remember them watching the sunrise, everybody watching the sunrise together. The I am stuck. Oh,
yes.
That was if I think about the movie, that's the first thing that pops in my head.
It's so funny. I had no recollection of that. And then when it came on, I was like, oh, that's what Jessica was talking about.
That he was like standing over her shoulder while she
totally,
was singing that
like
song.
I said, forgot NYPD Blue was in this.
Mm-hmm. That's a core memory of this movie, of him running butt-ass naked, because he loved showing his ass.
He did.
That man loved showing his ass. It was like every episode of NYPD Blue, his ass was on TV.
Like, what do you remember about the 90s?
NYPD Blue's
ass. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I didn't remember much from this. I did remember that she died, and I always remember being pissed off. Like,
I did not remember that he got to speak with her before she died. I just remember her, like, plowing into the truck, and then him knowing she was dead. And that was it. Like, and that was the end of the movie. I don't remember anything really after that.
No, I had no specifics with a lot of the relationship dynamics of different characters. Like, I didn't remember any of that. I just remember them wearing, trench coats and staying in the library. So we'll just get into it. Obviously, there's a lot of, like, symbolism sometimes throughout this with, they have the deaths that he's around is, like, kind of it's someone young and then middle-aged and old, like stages of life. And then, like I said, there's a lot of references to the source material. But I feel like the very opening, though, is very, like, this is LA in the 90s.
Yeah,
like,
it's totally 90s.
It was. And that it had the guy, the chief, or whoever from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Andre Brum.
I was not expecting that at all. Forgot he was in it completely.
No, I remembered he was in it. It was good to see him.
Yeah. But overall, the angels just give me a creepy vibe.
My favorite part about all the angels was when anytime something happened, like, all the angels would be there watching. I'm like, these nosy ass angels.
Yeah. No, I found it. I know. I found it creepy, though. I found it just all creepy. Like,
I found that, like, they were all like, oh, we're all here for each other. No, we're all watching the sunrise together.
When you saw them individually, like, when he'd be walking around and you could, like, they're actively trying to show you them looking after these people. And then they were, like, smiling, or they're, like, have their hand, like, where it looks like it's on there and they're, like, over them or something. But again, I just don't like the concept of these angels. Like, I think that's what it is. I don't like it. Because, like I said, it makes me actively get mad at God. Because I'm like, why would you do this to them?
Yeah.
Like, they can't touch, like, they touch someone, but they can't feel that touch. Like, they can't fucking see. You give them, they want to go and watch the sunrise. They're not even seeing it in fucking color, is what you're telling me?
I guess that's why they close their eyes.
I don't know. And then, they can hear some horns. Oh, good job. Like, I don't know. It just, like, pisses me off. I don't like the concept. And then, like I said, it feels creepy when it's shown on the mass level that they're at. And I just didn't like it. I don't like it one bit.
It's like the birds.
It's, yeah. Like, well, and then even let's pretend that I believe this. And, like, you and me right now, are there, like, 4 other bitches in the room with us? Like, that would be terrifying. Like,
I was like,
no.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of feel like that's true. I feel like you're never alone.
No,
anyway.
I would not like that at all. No.
So I think anytime you're somebody over your shoulder. That
would be that's disgusting. Like, again, actively made me hate
Nicolas
God.
Cage be like,
yeah. Like, no. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
A little privacy, please.
Like, I just can't. I don't like that. I don't like the idea
I only
of this at
want
all.
it when I want to summon them. I don't want them here watching me all the time.
I don't want them here, period. Like, mind your business. Period. I'm fine.
No, they're like, ooh.
I know. I overall just don't like the concept, I guess. Like, I find it creepy, kind of disturbing. And I found this movie really boring. I'm so sorry.
Really? No. Watching it now, I'm like, why did I like this movie as like a 12, 13-year-old girl? Well, it is so slow.
I think that's probably the reason, though, because it's just that, like...
But how would it hold my attention?
Maybe just because it's, like, the idea of having a crush, and then their whole... Like,
yeah,
to me,
because like I said, I love Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan.
Yeah, and you were always a Meg Ryan girl. Yes. Like, that's your girl, like, so...
And then the fact that he was, like, always there following her and, like...
Yeah, no. So you're, like, into it. And I'm like, no.
I liked it. He was always there.
And I like Nicolas Cage, but I'm like, no thanks. Not like that. That would be no. It was just kind of weird. Like, again, I felt like it could have been cuter, like, or something. Like, I felt like it just lacked something when, like, he's meeting these other people, or when he is taking, like, a corporeal form for her to see when he's still not a human yet. Like, and then honestly, he's the one always sitting on the fucking fence. Let's be honest. Like, I know it's supposed to be, like, a big decision, but to me, it should be a no-brainer. Because, like I said, like, they don't get to do half to... I'm like, fuck that. I would not want to be an angel. Like, if you get to choose to be a human. And then they talk about free will, but I'm like, he didn't know he could fucking do that.
Exactly.
So it's free will, but with the knowledge hidden from you. Like...
Well, that's the theme throughout the whole Bible, though, isn't it? Like, you don't get the knowledge unless you eat from the tree. And you're not supposed to eat from the tree.
Yeah, and he wants to keep you in the dark. Like, psycho.
They're like, you can do it, but you have to find out about it secretly from The devil. The devil told you. So therefore, can you trust the devil?
It wasn't
Should
the devil.
you do it?
It was NYPD Blue that told him.
And it was the devil.
He's a
He
cop.
was Lucifer. He was a fallen angel.
What if he was?
Yeah.
Now that I'm on board with. I'd be like, all right. It dawned on me of why I get so frustrated and I talk shit like about romance sometimes. But it's because in a lot of romance, especially like this kind of, it's fantasy, but it's not like I got swords and I'm fighting people fantasy. But it's always that like the antagonist is usually just things that are self-imposed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he just like, you could have been with her much sooner. You just had to take the plunge. Like, he told you pretty fucking early.
Yeah.
And then he's still just sitting on the fence. Like, and then, because she's even basically like, I don't want to be with some weird angel person that's not really real.
That can't me.
Like, live a, like, and then I'm just going to die later. And then he's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. And so then that's when he's finally like, oh, well, I guess I'll just take the plunge. Like, I don't know. It just seemed weird to watch. And it was slow build up. And yeah. So ultimately, just to break down, I guess, the plot, it is that he is an angel. He is in a hospital doing his thing, taking people souls, I guess, helping them.
Equals death.
Yeah. Yeah. And she happens to like look up at one point and he's like, I feel like she saw me.
Yeah.
But like she didn't see him. But
she felt, but she could feel his presence, I felt like.
So right there, though, and this again is with the angel lore stuff where I'm kind of like, okay, well, they have free will, but they don't know that they have this like choice in the matter, but they can't actually feel certain things. But for some reason, but it seems like he can feel certain things if he feels the need to connect with this woman and become a human.
Right.
So that's where I'm
feel
like,
love at least.
Something, yeah. So it's just kind of odd setup right from the get-go, but yeah, so he basically is starting to like follow her around kind of and stalk her.
He's starting to stalk her and watch her undress and
yeah, and that's how eventually, like I said, he's been hanging out at this hospital and that's how he meets NYPD Blue, because you basically figure he's like, I know you're there, I can't see you, but I know you're there, because you find out he was an angel and he took the plunge for Miss Teresa's poontang.
That's what it's all about, isn't
like,
it?
for them to not be able to feel anything, they sure are horny. And then also I thought it was funny because when they go to a cookout, and this is when he's still like taking on like a form that you can see, because he can determine. Your cat is going crazy. It's hilarious. So then he's doing this weird thing where he shows up and like it seems like he's a real person. But then he like answers questions kind of oddly. And that's the thing too, where I'm like, you have been following humans around and kind of protecting them or helping them in what seems like indefinitely. And yet you don't know how they talk to one another.
You don't know how to pretend.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just seemed, again, weird. And then
he's like, how'd you know my name?
He just points like, yeah, like use your words.
Yeah. Use your big boy words. And I'm like, the way he's looking at her, I would have thought that he was escaped from the psych ward.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, he wears the same clothes every day. He's always in the hospital. Is it because, like...
You meet him in a library.
Yeah.
Like...
He said he lives here.
Well, and then also, she gets that picture, and then it's, like, all light of him because he can't have a picture taken when he's an angel.
Now, that I'd be like, ooh.
I would have been like, vampire.
Right. Yeah. And that would have piqued my intrigue even more.
And then she also is seeing, though, like another surgeon during this time that she's like fairly serious in that.
Because he proposes.
They come and go. Yeah, like it seems like they just come and go out of each other's lives very seamlessly.
Yeah.
And then she only calls Nicolas Cage a friend, but then also at the same time in her head, she's thinking, oh, I hope I can get his number. So I'm like,
right? How close are you to
what
this
is
guy?
this relationship? Yeah, exactly. Like you said, though, it's still enough for him to want to propose.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like that's a little weird too. Like, I don't know. I just found it all like again, kind of all of this was boring to me.
It was rewatching it. I was like, yeah, it was boring.
Yeah.
But I was watching it through my eyes back in 1998.
Yeah.
I was watching it through my 1998
Well, and they made
eyes.
it very, like, sensual.
It was
and
very
I
sensual.
could see why, like,
Yeah.
I feel like there was probably a demographic during that time, too, where it was like, oh, this is so, like, I just imagine it, like, I could just imagine
and like for some reason
the lighting and, you know, someone like, oh, City of Angels, and
the way she was touching her face.
Yes, like, and the way the shots
he was like
were
almost
set
touching
up.
her.
Yeah, like,
you could almost feel his hands on your body.
Yeah,
like maybe there's an angel caressing me right now.
Oh, and then that's even like later when they actually do finally get to have sex when after he took the plunge. It's like, we're meant to fit together.
I know that was like I was like, I do not like that at all. And
then also I had to think, because again, it's been a while since I know like the ins and outs of a lot of things in Christianity. So in my notes, I'm like weren't angels in trouble for fucking humans and making weird
Giants
monster babies? And like, I was like, or was that just like in Catholicism? Because sometimes certain things are like
only in one.
Yeah. And so I looked it up, and it's they apparently made what was it called, the Nephilim or Nephilim or something, and I just thought that was funny because where I'm like, is this how that happened?
Maybe. Well, that's why God was like, smite.
Yeah. He's like, you have a choice, but I'm going to smite you for it.
He's like, no monster babies from you.
Like, oh my God.
He was like, you're my best death angel. Fuck you. God damn it, Seth. Seth Plate, that's the best you could come up with, fucking idiot.
He's been doing this for millennia, but yeah. So
I did laugh when she said Mr. and Mrs. Plate.
Yeah. No, that was funny.
Was
there was cute part. Like I always want to like this movie just more than I actually do.
I still love when the stay until I fall asleep, because I don't know why, but for me that has always been, I don't know if romantic's the right word, but to me it's like
thoughtful,
or just like when you know, like I love the protector vibe, like somebody's protecting you. Like, stay until I fall asleep, so I'm safe while I sleep. You know? Like I just like that idea.
Oh,
so that's
cute.
Yeah, it's cute. So I still like that scene. I thought it made me feel like I did back then again.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to like it a lot more. I guess I just found like Seth just not that interesting. Mm-hmm. You know, like it almost seems like he's like a little fawn. Like I don't know, I wouldn't be like romantically interested.
She wants to
in
show
that.
him the world.
Like,
I can show you.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't.
Oh, you know, his literature
it's
and
fine.
stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Like fun
they
things.
Can be in the bathtub and read poetry together.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than
like romance.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was just pure romance.
Yeah.
Like in that sense.
And it was tragic.
Yeah, and then with the tragedy at the end. Apparently, the source material, it does not have a tragic ending. So that's another reason why I was like, oh, I might want to watch that one. Tragic romance is like, again, it gets under my skin sometimes just because it feels very like self-imposed sometimes. They make their own obstacles, or like, you know, even in Romeo and Juliet, we're like, oh, the families, they can't be together. I'm like, fuck it, just leave.
Yeah, just elope and run away.
Leave. Like, think it through. Like, she'd been wanting you to. You could have done it even with her or something, to where she's a fucking doctor. She could have been there when you became a human, but instead he doesn't know where in the city he actually is.
That's like, what I thought was dumb.
Yeah, like for me, I was like, I wouldn't want to be with this guy. He seems kind of dumb.
He doesn't think anything through. I would have been like, hey, I'm going to become human. Will you help me?
Yeah, well, because like I said, it seems like he's wishy-washy and thinking about it, but then he doesn't actually make any kind of, while he's thinking about it, apparently he's not even making plans or anything. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. For me, I think I get too caught up in logistics.
And the details.
Yes, I do. I get caught up in the details, like logical, practical details that shouldn't matter in obviously the situation and movie.
See, when I watch the movie, all I think about is how, like it makes me feel, not the detail
and that's
stuff.
I probably should be doing that. Instead, I'm like, what the fuck? He didn't plan. He doesn't even know where the hospital is. How is he gonna find her?
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, she's so tragic. She's lying in bed.
Like, this is dumb.
And I've always liked movies where somebody dies like that, because I feel like you always are going to get bored of somebody, and if they die, then you always have that image in your head.
That's so funny.
So they're always going to be top tier in your head because you didn't have time to
get bored
with them.
Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, that is 2 completely different takes of this movie, guys. Said I did love the soundtrack though, ending it with the Alanis Morissette song, and then the Goo Goo Doll song was like, I had been waiting though. Even I think at one point in the notes, I'm like, "Where's my fucking Goo Goo Dolls at?"
Where's my Goo Goo Dolls at? But yeah, where they used that song at in the movie, I liked it. Because then that's when I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that they wrote the song for the movie.
I will say, I should have mentioned this in the very beginning of my memories, is my biggest memory is the Goo Goo Dolls music video for this. And it did have clips and stuff. And then
I just remember him being in that thing where he had that like telescope.
But they would have the clips from the movie and everything. So I remember that more than anything else from, like I said, the marketing with the music really did a number because it stuck with me. And I watched that music video constantly. They played it constantly. Like I watched it all the time. So definitely that's the biggest memory probably for me.
The Goo Goo.
The Goo Goo. And that was City of Angels. And as always, you can find us at Film Gazers on the social medias. As we mentioned, March Madness will be next month. We think we are going to switch it around and probably do The Lighthouse. And then our 100th episode will be The Cable Guy.
Yes. I feel like that's appropriate.
It does feel appropriate. Syndication. And remember, you can also buy us a popcorn, and any of that good stuff. Our links are on the RSS. They're usually linked in the show notes when Jess puts them up there for us.
And we also have our movie night picks on there if you want to support us that way. We got a little Amazon list.
Nice.
So it's got the movies that we watch on there and snacks from our childhood.
Ooh. So yeah, you can find all of that on the Linktree informations. So, time to hit the dusty trail because this cat won't shut the fuck up.
Until next time.
Later, taters.
Shut the fuck up.
I know, like your cat.